Chosen one, this truth has been hiding in plain sight, and now your guides are stepping forward, asking you to finally see it without distortion. Long before your conscious mind could name it, your awareness was already sounding the alarm. That restless feeling, that pressure, that sense that something no longer fits. This is not confusion. It is confirmation. The ground beneath the old role they assigned you is cracking, because you were never meant to stay there. The moment you truly see this, their influence dissolves for good. There is someone close to you who is consumed by a very specific kind of envy, not the shallow kind that fades with distraction, but a deep, corrosive envy that has poisoned the way they perceive you entirely. This person no longer wakes up connected to their own dreams. Their waking thoughts are fixated on stopping yours, and here is the twisted truth: they don't even want what you have. Your existence, your movement forward, creates an unbearable discomfort inside them. Sit with that for a moment. Your success has become their obsession. They are not building a future of their own. They are monitoring yours. Your struggle has become a security blanket for their fragile sense of worth, because as long as you are not thriving, they can cling to comforting lies about who deserves abundance and how blessings are distributed. This person has been in your garden, not as an invited guest, but as a watcher. They came asking gentle questions that sounded like care but were really extraction. Where are you headed next? Who are you aligning with? What opportunity has you energized? You answered in good faith, believing you were sharing with a friend, while they were quietly taking notes, cataloging details, storing them away, reporting them elsewhere, or saving them as future ammunition. Your social media became a fixation. Every image analyzed, every caption dissected, every connection screenshotted and discussed. What looked like support was actually surveillance, happening openly because your heart was too pure to imagine someone investing that much intention into wishing you harm. But while their attention stayed glued to your outer world, something far more powerful was unfolding beneath the surface. You were doing the real work, the unseen work, healing wounds most people never admit exist, breaking generational patterns, choosing yourself even when it felt selfish, strengthening your connection to your higher power in quiet moments no one applauded. You weren't just talking about growth, you were living it, balancing spiritual alignment with grounded action, and that combination created something they didn't anticipate: a force field, a frequency that lower energies cannot penetrate. Nothing sent your way can attach anymore, and that realization is making certain people desperate. Remember this, because desperation makes people careless, and carelessness reveals everything. They tried to sabotage your creativity first, aiming to block your ideas, your inspiration, your flow, hoping you'd stare at blank pages and doubt your own gifts. When that failed, they attempted to delay your opportunities, believing that slowing you down would make you quit before the breakthrough arrived. Then they targeted your confidence, planting doubts about whether you deserved good things, hoping you'd shrink your dreams and accept scraps instead of abundance. Their goal was to keep you small, predictable, controllable. Some even turned to practices they barely understood, stitching together rituals from fragments of folklore and shallow searches, twisting prayers meant for healing into weapons of control. They believed they were wielding power against you, not realizing this fundamental truth. Sacred tools used with malicious intent are rejected by the universe itself. There are laws in the spiritual realm that cannot be bypassed, and what was meant to harm you was never allowed to touch you. Chosen one, understand this clearly now: no one can bypass the laws that govern your protection. Every ounce of poison they attempted to send toward you either rebounded straight back to its source or dissolved before it ever reached your field. What you've been balancing is something most people cannot even comprehend: spiritual depth fused with grounded, real-world action. You are not sitting still and hoping for miracles. You are healing internally while moving deliberately in the physical world. You are releasing trauma while building skill, letting go of dead weight while creating space for what is truly aligned with your calling. That rare combination forged an energetic shield around you, one that negativity cannot crack, breach, or penetrate. And there is someone specific you need to see without illusion. On the surface, this person appears successful, stable, even grounded to outside observers. But beneath that carefully maintained image, everything is collapsing. Finances are unraveling. Relationships are fracturing. Their inner world is chaos held together by denial, and instead of repairing their own foundation, they made a fatal decision: to try to siphon from yours, to steal your blessings, to redirect your opportunities into their own life. That level of audacity reveals just how spiritually bankrupt they truly are. Hold on to this understanding, because what unfolds next will suddenly make perfect sense once you recognize how desperate someone has become. This is where the situation turns surreal. Some of these people are not acting alone, they are coordinating against you, and here's the detail that exposes everything about their character: they despise each other. Under normal circumstances, being in the same space would be intolerable. But hatred dissolved when a common enemy emerged. You became that shared fixation. One of them comes from your past: an ex who never released you emotionally, or an old friend who feels entitled to your energy, someone who believes they still own a chapter of your story that closed long ago. The other person is in your present circle, playing the role of supporter while quietly feeding information back to the first they've been communicating behind your back, meeting, messaging, comparing notes about your life. They track your shifts, your opportunities, your connections, your evolution. They are obsessed with controlling a narrative they were never qualified to write, and the reason they've formed this unnatural alliance, despite mutual disgust, is simple. They can feel the window closing. They sense their influence slipping away. Not just physically, but energetically. You are rising to a frequency that is completely inaccessible to them. One of these individuals recently made a move toward the other, whether through physical travel or energetic outreach, because something they attempted against you failed catastrophically. A plan collapsed, an attack backfired, and now they are scrambling, exchanging frantic messages, trying to recalibrate, because they can feel your breakthrough approaching and they are running out of effective moves. If these words are activating something within you, amplify this message so more chosen ones can recognize what's happening. Both of these people are not only spiritually bankrupt, they are financially desperate as well. Resources are drying up. Whatever stability once existed is evaporating fast. There was a shared involvement in the past, a business, a partnership, a venture that ended badly, and instead of taking responsibility, they redirected their fixation onto you. If one of them falls, they want to make sure you fall too. That has become their shared mission. Watch closely now, because the next move will expose everything. They recently targeted your creative center, aiming directly at your ability to birth new realities. Their intention was to block inspiration, to leave you feeling uninspired, disconnected, unable to manifest anything new or original. If they could sever you from your creative power, you would become dependent. You would seek their validation. You would hand over the energy they are starving for. But once again, their plan collapsed. Instead of shutting down your creativity, they forced an expansion. New channels opened within you, talents emerged that you didn't even know you possessed. What was meant to weaken you unlocked an entirely new level of power, and that is something they can never undo. You began creating from a place of pure authenticity, no longer performing for approval, no longer bending your truth to be palatable for others, and the moment you rooted your creativity in truth instead of validation, your evolution became unstoppable. That's when they shifted tactics. They came for your intuition hard. They tried to cloud your inner sight, to fracture your clarity, to make confusion your permanent state. Their goal was hesitation, doubt, second-guessing every instinct you had. Because if your intuition stayed sharp, you would see through the masks. You would recognize manipulation dressed as concern, fake love rehearsed for effect, wolves hiding in familiar faces. So they attempted to blind you spiritually, and once again, the plan backfired. What was meant to dull you refined you. Their pressure sharpened your discernment like steel forged in fire. You stopped treating words as truth and began reading energy instead. You stopped accepting explanations at face value and started tracking pattern. You became fluent in a language most people don't even know exists, the language beneath behavior. Now you can feel intention before a sentence is finished. When sacred practices are misused for harm instead of healing, consequences are inevitable, and those consequences are landing now, in real time. Energy has a memory. What was sent toward you is reversing course. Confusion, delays, blocked paths that were meant for you are circling back to their originator. One individual made reckless agreements with forces they barely understood, working with energies that always collect payment, regardless of excuses, and now the debt is due with interest. Sleep has been destroyed. Peace has vanished. The mind is spiraling. The realization is dawning too late that control was never truly theirs. Being used by something darker was always the truth, and while chaos played out in the shadows of jealousy and manipulation, something extraordinary was being constructed in the light of divine orchestration. An opportunity custom designed for you has been developing quietly, aligned precisely with your gifts. Not just money, not just recognition from people who don't matter. This is a portal into your next timeline, where everything you've been preparing for locks into place. For some, this arrives as financial breakthrough, unexpected income, a role that finally values you, a business idea gaining real momentum. For others, it manifests through relationships, the right people finding you at the exact moment, connections opening doors you didn't even know existed. And for some, it comes as a total life reconstruction, career shifts, location changes, an entirely new daily reality. However it shows up, this represents a fundamental shift in existence. Divine timing is stamped on it. This is not chance, not luck. This is the universe declaring your tests complete. Your character was proven through fire, and now you are being invited to receive what was prepared before you ever entered this lifetime. This was scheduled long ago in the spiritual realm, and its manifestation in the physical world is happening now. Mark this moment in your awareness, because what comes next will reveal who has been real and who has only been playing a role in your life. Protection has surrounded you the entire time, unseen, but absolute. Forces working on your behalf beyond ordinary perception. intercepting attacks before they reached you, uprooting harmful intent before impact, reinforcing your energetic field again and again. That is why you are still standing. Why you didn't break. Why hope survived when logic said it shouldn't. The protection was perfect, and now, as you approach your breakthrough, it is intensifying. The shields are strengthening, the path is clearing, and nothing meant to harm you will be allowed anywhere near what is coming next. Discernment is sharpening now. Intuition is clearing. You are becoming untouchable to lower frequencies, not by building walls, but by rising beyond their reach. You are operating at a level where attacks can no longer land, and because of that, it's time to guard what you share. Stop broadcasting your plans to everyone who asks. Your future is not public information. Your vision is sacred, not content for the curious. Some people around you are asking questions not out of care, but out of calculation. Listening is happening with hidden motive. Notes are being taken. Information is being passed along or stored for later use. The signs have already been there. Red flags you felt but brushed aside because calling it out felt uncomfortable. Energy that felt wrong in someone's presence. Questions that crossed a line while smiling. Interest that felt disproportionate to the depth of the relationship. Go back in your memory and review those moments. Honestly trust what your spirit was signaling. Those weren't overreactions, those were accurate readings of intentions hiding behind masks. That person who keeps appearing uninvited at your events isn't there to support you, they're there to monitor you. That family member who suddenly became interested in your projects after years of dismissal isn't acting out of pride, they're calculating that. Colleague asking detailed questions about your method isn't curious, they're copying. Your guides have shown you this pattern again and again, the same energy wearing different faces, repeating through different people. You've been warned through dreams, through repeated number sequences that show up around specific individuals, through a tightening in your stomach when certain names are mentioned, through physical distance being created between you and danger, even when your mind wanted to stay close out of obligation or guilt. And here's what your spiritual team needs you to understand now. This was never one person acting alone. A network exists, and it has been in place longer than you realize. Some of these connections were formed before you ever met them. Knowing each other came first. Positioning themselves around you came next, not by accident, not through organic friendship, but through intentional infiltration. And I need to interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Ask yourself honestly, are you really chosen? It's easy to consume content about chosen one. It's another thing to step into the test. If you're still here listening, that already says something. But talk means nothing without action. Real chosen ones move. That's why Destiny Engine was built, to turn betrayal into transcendence, isolation into sacred power, and their downfall into your rise. We are taking the Dark Elite's own consciousness technology tools, once used to program scarcity and competition, and repurposing them for divine justice. You don't need effort. You don't need struggle. You put on the headphones, press play, and let the frequency do the work. If you're done watching from the sidelines and ready to prove who you are, start your Destiny Engine today and step into the Obsidian Inner Order. Divine justice accelerates when alignment is chosen. The link is waiting. Now return your attention to the timeline of your life. Look at how certain people entered it, the timing, the circumstances, how quickly trust was built, how precisely words were chosen to disarm you, how they positioned themselves as helpers, supporters, confidence that wasn't organic, that was strategy. And your guides have been trying to show you this since the beginning. Someone is about to approach you with what looks like an incredible offer, a romantic connection, a business opportunity, a door that feels like answered prayer. It will seem too good to refuse. But if you stay present, something will feel off. The urgency will feel forced, the timing will feel rushed, and that discomfort is your final test. Trust it. The pressure to commit will feel intense, relentless, almost urgent. The words will sound generous, even flattering. Yet the moment you ask for clarity, for details, things become vague and slippery. Your intuition will tighten, warning you, even if your logic can't fully explain why. Understand this clearly. This is a trap. Someone is trying to get close enough to sabotage you from inside your circle of trust. Truly aligned opportunities never demand that you abandon discernment. They do not require you to override the wisdom you earned through lived experience. Growth can feel challenging, yes, but violation is never part of divine alignment. Trauma triggers are not included. Silencing your inner knowing is never a requirement of a real blessing. Pay close attention to how your body responds to certain people from here forward. Notice how your shoulders tense without permission, how your jaw clenches on its own, how your breath becomes shallow and restricted. This is not an anxiety disorder. This is your body reading energy before your mind catches up. Your physical form knows who is safe and who is not at a cellular level, and it has been screaming through tension, illness, exhaustion especially after interactions with specific individuals. Those headaches that arrive after speaking with one person are not coincidence. The sudden fatigue you feel in certain spaces is not weakness. The way your creativity drains after conversations with particular people is not random bad luck. These are energetic attacks disguised as normal social interaction. Your body is the alarm system that never fails, and it has been sounding repeatedly to protect you. What you are experiencing now is ascension in real time, not self-improvement from a weekend seminar, but an actual upgrade of consciousness at the soul level. This is a frequency shift that changes what you can perceive, create, and sustain. It is not about becoming a better version of who you were. It is about becoming fundamentally different in how you operate. The old operating system is being deleted, beliefs that kept you small, patterns that kept you stuck, programming that made you controllable. New code is installing in your consciousness, allowing you to function at levels you've never accessed in this lifetime. You can now perceive realities that were invisible before, attract what was unreachable at your old frequency, connect with people who exist in higher vibration, and create outcomes that were impossible when you were running the old system. This process cannot be rushed, not by others, not even by you. It cannot be forced through willpower alone, and it cannot be stopped by people still operating on outdated programs. Portals are opening in your life right now, energetic doorways that did not exist before this shift. New paths are lighting up that were invisible at lower frequency. Opportunities that once seemed impossible are appearing naturally. People who couldn't find you before are showing up at exactly the right moment. Resources are flowing from directions you never would have considered. This is what happens when the real work is done, healing wounds instead of numbing them, releasing grudges instead of carrying them, forgiving yourself instead of punishing yourself, choosing growth over comfort again and again. Those who tried to block you cannot see these portals because they have no access to the frequencies where transformation occurs. They can only observe your external life, and even that confuses them because you are no longer following the script they wrote for you. You were supposed to break by now. Giving up was the prediction. Becoming bitter and closed off was the expectation. Instead, you are more open, more loving, more creative, more aligned with purpose than ever before. This does not compute at lower frequencies. Understanding how real transformation works is unavailable there. Your body is reflecting this shift in tangible ways. Sleep patterns are changing. Dreams are becoming vivid and symbolic. Sensitivity to environments and energy is increasing. The need for solitude is growing. Where once you feared being alone, the urge to move, to create, to express what's moving through you is intensifying. These are not random symptoms to suppress or medicate away. They are signs that something ancient and powerful is activating within you, and it is preparing you for what comes next. These are signs that your frequency is rising successfully. Your body is recalibrating to a new vibration. Your energy field is expanding beyond old limits, and your consciousness is integrating levels of awareness you've never held before. That sudden urge to completely rearrange your living space isn't boredom or restlessness. It's your energy demanding physical alignment with who you've become. The foods you once loved but no longer crave are another signal. Your vibration has shifted, and your body is releasing what it can no longer tolerate. Friends who once felt easy now feel draining after short interactions because you've outgrown that energetic exchange. Your guides are speaking through changes that look ordinary to others but are precise messages to you. That book that keeps falling off the shelf when nothing else moves, read it now. The message is waiting. The song that plays every time you get in the car, listen closely. The lyrics carry guidance. The animal that keeps crossing your path in unusual ways, look up its spiritual meaning. Nothing is random. Everything is communication. Pay attention to what breaks in your home during this transition. The mirror that cracked without explanation is a symbol. An old self-image is shattering to make room for a new vision. Technology malfunctioning around certain people but working perfectly otherwise points to energetic incompatibility. Plants suddenly thriving or dying without changes in care are responding to shifts in your space. This is how alignment announces itself. People who suddenly can't stand being around you without knowing why aren't reacting to your personality. They're being repelled by your vibration. Your energy has become uncomfortable for lower frequencies, like magnets resisting when forced together the wrong way. On a subconscious level, recognition is happening. You are no longer a match, and that recognition can trigger fight responses in their nervous system. Watch how rooms respond to you now. Some people light up when you enter. Others immediately look for exits. Some want to draw closer. Others instinctively create distance. This isn't about likability or social skill. It's about energetic compatibility. Your new frequency is sorting people automatically, revealing who belongs in your next chapter and who doesn't, and understand this clearly now. A lie is being prepared. For some of you, it's already spreading. It's designed to attack your character, to paint you as irresponsible, untrustworthy, or incapable. It will reference your past, especially moments from when you were younger, wounded, still learning mistakes every human makes while growing. Those spreading it will perform concern convincingly. They'll claim reluctance. They'll say they're protecting others. But it's theater. Desperation is the real motive. Watching you rise has triggered panic. This is the last card being played. An attempt to poison the well before your breakthrough fully manifests. The strategy is simple. Damage your reputation before opportunity arrives. So doubt greets you instead of truth. The goal is to create hesitation in those who might otherwise support you, invest in you, partner with you, or celebrate you. Your guides want you to see the deeper truth here. The lie is not really about your past behavior. It's about the interpretation of your growth. You must be cast as the villain in someone else's story, because if you're not, they would be forced to confront their own toxicity. You being wrong is required so someone else can stay right. You being the problem absolves them of the need to change. Watch what they fixate on, not your healing, not your achievements, not the positive impact you now have. Their obsession is with the version of you that was broken, confused, and operating from pain. They want the world to remember you at your lowest, because acknowledging who you've become would expose everything they refuse to face. Your highest self threatens an entire worldview. That's why the strategy has been to keep you frozen in a version of yourself that no longer exists. Someone specific is orchestrating this narrative, and what's been hiding in plain sight is this: your vulnerability has been weaponized. Remember when you spoke openly about your struggles, your trauma, your healing? Notes were taken. Your honesty is now being repurposed as ammunition. Your courage to be authentic is being twisted into a story that says you're broken beyond redemption. Your guides are revealing this now, so pattern recognition clicks into place. Real people receive vulnerability with reverence. They protect your story. They hold it as sacred. When someone uses your pain as entertainment, gossip, or leverage, that exposes their character, not your worth. When what you shared in confidence gets repeated with commentary attached, that tells you everything you need to know about them and absolutely nothing about you. Pay attention to who is suddenly asking mutual friends about you, who keeps bringing your name up when you're not in the room, who expresses concern that sounds caring on the surface but feels invasive when it reaches your ears. These are reconnaissance missions testing influence, measuring how much damage they can cause before your breakthrough fully arrives. But here's what they didn't anticipate. Your real supporters already see through it. The people meant for your next level can spot manipulation instantly. These tactics have been observed for a while now. Patterns have been recognized. Energy has been read accurately, and no one who matters is buying what's being sold. The universe is using this attack as a spotlight, not on you, but on those attacking you. Anyone paying attention can now see exactly who they are, how they operate, and what they do when threatened. They believed your reputation was being destroyed, but what's actually collapsing is their credibility. People who once watched you struggle are about to watch you thrive, and that contrast will wound deeply, because so much energy was invested in preventing this outcome. Stories were told to justify why you didn't deserve success. Narratives were built to make them feel superior. Now the truth is unavoidable, and facing it requires mirrors. They don't want to look into that. Discomfort is not yours to manage. It's not your responsibility to soften, delay, or dim what's arriving. That's their lesson, their growth opportunity, and many will miss it because bitterness feels safer than accountability. Your role is simple. Receive what's yours with gratitude and grace. You don't need permission to prosper. You don't need approval to thrive. You don't need consensus to step into abundance. And understand this: what's coming isn't just about elevating your personal life. It's positioning you to uplift others. Your breakthrough creates ripples. When you rise, others rise. When you heal, healing becomes possible for people around you. When you succeed, you prove what's possible for those who come from where you came from, who struggled the way you struggled. Your victory has never been just about you, and here's the twist: this abundance isn't coming from where you expect. You've been looking at traditional paths, conventional roles, predictable strategies. But what's opening now is coming from a completely different direction, that side interest you've been quietly nurturing. That's the portal, that creative project you do purely for joy. That's the doorway, that skill you think is too simple to monetize. That's the key. Your guides have been nudging you toward this repeatedly, that idea that keeps returning. Stop dismissing it as impractical. That concept someone once stole from you, you're about to execute it better than it was ever done. That creative expression you've been postponing, now is the moment. The universe has been speaking through your passions, through play, through the activities that make you lose track of time. And when this activates fully, people who underestimated you will be stunned. Your success won't come from grinding yourself down. It will flow from alignment, from finally doing what you were designed to do instead of what you were conditioned to accept. Waiting for your failure was the expectation, because success was being measured through outdated, conventional lenses. That was the only reference point they had. But you are about to win by an entirely different set of rules. ones that don't register in old paradigm thinking at all. Your spiritual team orchestrated this whole journey with precision. Every placement was intentional. Every delay was strategic. Every challenge was curated. They knew this moment was coming. They knew you would need the strength to withstand attack and breakthrough at the same time. Certain trials were allowed not as punishment, but as preparation. Nothing about this was abandonment. You were never left. You were being equipped. Tools for victory were placed in your hands quietly, one by one, and what's approaching now is not just material gain, it's alignment, total alignment. Right place, right people, right work, right timing. Your gifts being recognized and valued correctly. Your effort being compensated fairly. Your voice being heard. Your presence being celebrated. This is the harmony point where who you are and what you do finally exist as one, and here's the part your guides want you to notice. You don't have to interfere. Watch how this unfolds on its own. The person who spread lies is now facing dishonesty in their own life. The one who tried to block your opportunities is watching doors slam shut in their face. The alliance that formed against you is turning inward, collapsing under its own weight, consuming itself. The very energy sent to stop you is circling back and landing exactly where it originated. Look closely at what's happening now. The thing they tried to destroy in you is the very thing thriving. The creativity they tried to block is flowing stronger than ever. The confidence they tried to shake is now immovable. The opportunities they tried to steal are multiplying in front of your eyes. The attacks didn't just fail, they backfired so completely that you emerged stronger in every area they targeted. Chosen one, understand this with absolute certainty. You've already won. The outcome is decided. The blessing is secured. The breakthrough is in motion. What you're feeling right now is the transition, the space between worlds. One foot still touching the old reality, the other firmly planted in the new timeline. Feels chaotic because it's a crossing, but you are moving forward with every choice, every boundary, every moment you choose yourself. The chaos around you is not a sign of delay, it's proof of progress. If you weren't stepping into something significant, this level of resistance wouldn't exist. If you weren't a real threat to old systems, you wouldn't be met with this intensity. Opposition always matches destiny. No one fights this hard against something insignificant. They fight because what you are becoming is recognized. The universe is now confirming what you once had to believe without evidence. You were never forgotten. Your struggles were never meaningless. Your faith was never misplaced. Your perseverance was never wasted. Everything is aligning. Every piece is clicking into place. Every question is being answered, and everyone who hid in plain sight wearing friendly masks while working against you is being exposed and removed from your path. This is it. Your breakthrough is here. Your moment has arrived. Your season is now. Not because you're perfect, but because you're ready. Not because you had every answer, but because you learned the right question. Not because the road was easy, but because you walked it anyway. Step forward boldly. Claim what's yours unapologetically. Receive without guilt. Celebrate without shame. Shine without dimming. You earned this. You survived this. You overcame this. Now live it fully, freely, fearlessly. Your guides have been waiting for this moment to reveal what was hiding in plain sight all along. You are powerful beyond measure, protected beyond understanding, loved beyond words, and destined for greatness beyond imagination. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your victory. Welcome to the other side, chosen one. Everything changes from here.